Hello, I'm Marcus Boston. In today's video, we're going to tackle a really important issue. And this has come up because I've been talking to some parents over the last couple of weeks and getting emails and certain things in regards to children who have been injured at birth and namely have suffered a brain injury during labor and delivery. And so the purpose of today's video is to help you understand three things. I'm going to give you three tips on what you can do if you are in this situation and you're trying to find answers. The real foundation of this video is because I have been able to talk to some parents, like I said earlier, and some of the things are just straight up, in my opinion, disturbing. Everybody has a right to have their own opinion on certain things, but in my opinion, I do think some of this stuff can be disturbing. And what I have found is there are individuals who are out here, they are in support groups, and they are looking for answers, and where issues can arise is when they can't find answers within that small little circle that they are a part of. And as one parent told me who talked with me about what was going on with their child, the concern is that how do you get answers when you are being pressured in some of these groups? And as this person told me, there are certain segments that they'd be damned if they will speak to a lawyer or speak to any specialist that's associated with the lawyer, because they're going to make sure that no lawyer profits or no expert profits off of their child. Now, everybody has their prerogative with certain things, and if that is your prerogative, more than likely you probably aren't watching this video. But to go further with everything, what I would like to help you understand is that if you're looking for answers, one of the first things that you can do is find out what area of the brain, what area of the brain has been injured with your baby. And this is really important, because what this can do is, once you know what has been injured, you can have a way of understanding what are some of the challenges that your baby may face going into the future. So let's say, for example, the area that controls speech. Let's say that area may have been impacted in some way, or an area that controls movement that has been impacted in some type of way. That is going to be able to allow you to understand, okay, going into the future, these are the challenges that my baby may face moving forward. There may be speech issues that your child may have. There may be movement issues. There may be communication issues. These things are important to know once you understand what area of the brain has been injured. The second thing, and this kind of dovetails off of understanding what area of the brain has been injured, and that deals with treatment options. So let's say you know that your baby, the part of the brain that processes information for speech or allows you to be able to talk and things of that nature, that has been injured. Then you're going to know going into the future there may be speech therapy that may be needed. Let's say, for example, you've got an area of the brain that's been injured that also affects movement. It affects muscles and movement and things of that nature. You know, going into the future, for possible treatment purposes, you may need braces, you may need a wheelchair, you may need devices to help assist with moving. These are all things that you're going to be able to kind of get an idea about just by knowing what area of the brain is injured. So that's really important. You've got the area of the brain that's injured, and then understanding possible treatment options. The third and final thing that I want to talk about, which is really, really important, and that deals with your communications with your doctor. In a lot of these cases, when we talk to parents, what we can understand or come to understand is that some doctors are way better than others in communicating what is going on, or diagnoses and treatment options and what challenges that the baby may face going into the future. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the doctor can kind of break some of this stuff down where they can in possible non-medical terms to help you understand what is going on with your child. For example, I had an expert that I spoke with about a case that we were doing, and this baby ended up having an issue, ended up having a brain injury. And the expert was explaining to me in all the technical terms the area of the brain that was injured. And he gave me a simple example. He told me to think about it this way. When you have your home, look at the brain in this example as the fuse box. Every house has a fuse box. And what is that fuse box responsible for? Well, the fuse box can turn on the lights in certain parts of the house. The fuse box is responsible for dishwasher. The fuse box can be responsible for the TV coming on in a bedroom. And if you have certain fuses that are injured or go out, then those areas of the home will be affected. And so how he was explaining is, look at the brain the same way. When there are certain areas or certain things in the brain that are injured, then you're going to see that manifestation in the body. And so that was a simple way to understand a very complicated topic, which is what was an HIE baby, and we were talking about some really technical things, but that explanation was simple. It was something that was able to allow someone who doesn't necessarily have a medical background to be able to understand these things. And so that's what I'm saying. It's important when you're talking with your doctors, when you're talking to the doctors and you're advocating for your child, get them to explain these topics to you in a way that you understand. And there's nothing wrong with continuing to advocate for your baby until you can understand what's happening. All right, so that's going to be it for today's video. I know it's a lot longer than the ones that I generally do, but I think that this is really important because this is something that comes up to me from time to time. And like I said, I know there are individuals out here who are looking for answers. They're not just taking what they hear, in the first step of the process if the puzzle doesn't seem to fit, and they're just going out to try to see if they can get answers to the questions that they may have. If you would like to speak with me further about what's going on with your child, maybe that is why you're here, because you're continuing to advocate for your child and you have questions. Maybe you're looking for an investigation into what happened during labor and delivery for your child, and you would like to speak with someone further about that. The telephone number is on the screen. I talk with families all the time about these issues, and I would be happy to talk with you about what's going on with your family. Before I leave, I want to make sure that you understand I'm an attorney and I practice birth trauma. I practice in the state of Maryland. That's where I do my work. But from time to time, because we are on the internet, we do have individuals who will contact us in other places. If you're contacting me and you're not in Maryland, you have to understand that if this is something that we think that we may be able to assist you with, that we have to use attorneys in your state, or we say co-counsel with attorneys in your state or local counsel to be able to move these cases forward. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law here in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. We will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.